And I thought season 2 of Invincible was traumatic. That last episode, goodness, we have to talk about season 3 of Invincible. And see, I'm gonna start with what everybody loves to hate about, and that's the animation. And honestly, apart from the ultimate slow down the frame at the right moment point, let's be honest with ourselves, it's not that bad. And obviously, in terms of an animating studio that aren't fully based in the West, it's a slight downgrade that comes just with the smaller in-house studio. And also, to talk about season 1 having way better animation and they downgraded, I think you guys should really rewatch season 1 because really the animation in that season was not really that good. And people come up with this bringing the final episode as a comparison. And like, if you want to go episode for episode, that had nothing compared to this season 3 finale. But yeah, I would say it's a shame we cannot get anything close to like the Atom Eve special at least, but we can only hope it gets better in the future. And personally, for first viewing of each episode, I can only speak for myself. I do not care or I do not even notice the bad animation because we're watching this for the story. And Invincible season 3 is so far the best I have seen from this entire series consistently since season 1. And I feel like the first actual season that we got that fully focused on Mark, they never really drew away from him compared to season 1 that he shared screen time with Nolan, and season 2 that was sort of a filling season for every other character, but that did its job in expanding the lore and the building for each character in that season. I love that season for that. But I think in season 3 it had the advantage to, as I said, follow on Mark, and especially Mark with Eve, Mark with Oliver, and maybe that did come in the expense of giving less characters their growth. Like, from the top of my head, the Rex situation, I felt nothing when what happened to him happened. Even after the scene in the final episode, it did not hit compared to when he almost died in season 2. That hit me way more. I felt way more emotion in that moment. I think they just did more for his character in build up to that. Like, we got a bunch of character. I talked about this in my last episode. He had like a bunch of character development. Even the moment in this season with Ray, it just felt very engineered and not natural. But speaking of the most soulless relationship, we also have like Rudy and Monster Girl. Can we just at least try to give them something compelling? This has been a problem since season 1. But I feel like every moment that they have in each season, it just does not help for their development. Also, Debbie, think from her season 2 to here, it's a bit of a disservice because she had a really good arc in season 2. And I personally would have had her rather not do anything in this season than what we got her to do in this season, you know. For the good ones, we like finally got to see Mark and Eve get together, the most predictable ship, and I'm all here for it. But Mark, you idiots, William literally not warned you not to go there, but you still went to go tell her. I guess you wanted to be fully honest with her, but come on, that was not necessary. But we finally get to see them grow and care for each other, especially in the latter episodes. And even in the episode, we got to go to the future, and it ties that they might be spending a lot of time together. And I'm all here for that, as I said. Also, Oliver thrown in there. I cannot stand a minute of him. And no spoilers, please, because I'm avoiding the comics, and I really hope he dies. I thought his time was coming when like Conquest got him on a deck, but see, he killed my favorite twins, and I cannot forgive him for that. And finally, the Mark and Cecil relationship straight from episode 1. People always say I'm Team Cecil and I'm Team Mark. And after rewatching the whole confrontation, prior to rewatching it, I was fully on Team Cecil. But see, I can see where Mark is coming from. Cecil took it a bit too far, especially with the whole earpiece thing. But him employing Darkwing and Dr. Sinclair, I completely understand that. Especially the Sinclair one, because it's not as if he was a free man. He was still a prisoner anyways. And prison nowadays is more modern day slavery. So he might as well just use that time to serve his country and help do good. So Mark should understand that. And also Cecil, I get he does not have to explain himself and everything, but still, more on Cecil's side again, but I get where Mark is coming from. And you see the Guardians of the Globe finally team up in episode 1, and this gets casted again in the next episode. After all that family talk too, it was insane. One thing I really love about this season that season 2 did not have was the roster of antagonists. We technically have Cecil in the first 2 episodes, which was great, and I love the backstory we had on those 2 random bad guys in the next episode. I feel like people complain about everything, but see, I don't know why people hated that episode. It was probably one of the only times the show moved away from its main life story to tell something different. And it was also a different form of storytelling with this whole the sound, which shined a light in what a future villain can be like, or how some of the villains think in this universe. We also got Titan back alongside Machine Head again. Think it was a better Titan episode than the one in the first season. Yes, it was less fun, no Battle Beast, but I can see myself rewatching this episode way more as a whole than the one from season 1. I love the one from season 1, but I just think this one was slightly better. And for people bashing that episode for being a filler episode, there are so many good episodes to choose from, and that was personally one of my favorites. Maybe it's a bit of Titan bias, but if a show's filler episode can hook me, to me, that means it's a good show, you know. Best written villain with Nolan 2, in my own opinion, was Powerplex, getting his time to shine. And I think he was crazy, yes, but he also had a major point. And I love the complexity with his character, and I hope we get to see more of him. Also, Angstrom Levy, I feel like what we got from him in season 2, we could build on that. And I think it made him a way more interesting villain, because I was not really a massive fan of him in season 2. But I still think he does not have any point or reason to go after Mark, and I'm really not a fan of his character. I wanted him to die. I was a bit upset that he came back, but see, wherever they take it to, it seems more interesting as it goes by, so I'm down to see. As for the Invincible War 2, I think that was done really well. For something that just had an episode to like stick everything, it was like the fact that I could get attached to each of the variants. Maybe not like attached, but like the show did a really good job to give us a good amount of each important Mark variant. And I can't wait to see where they take them to, because I feel like they can't just leave them where they are right now. And finally, Conquest. Oh, how long I've been waiting to see this. Like, they've spoiled this for me so many times. And funny enough, it still came as, it came as a big shock to me. Because after everything that happened, you think like Mark would get a break, but no. The timing could not be more bad. The fact that happened right after all that Invincible variant thing, just give my guy a break. I think in episode 7, I was a big fan of the Jeffrey Dean Morgan voice, but in the finale, it was a bit more iffy for me. Sometimes it sounded like it was this grunty old man, which I loved, but sometimes it just sounded like it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But that is just me nitpicking. I'm happy that Glenn could finally get his leg back on Negan, but see, that finale was a banger. What they did for Eve, my girl, I want to see her go up and up in more seasons. And if we're getting episodes every year, I can't wait to see where they take this story. I was talking to my friend about this, and I feel like one thing that we both agreed on was that this show has a really bad... I know it's based on a source material, so I doubt it will be a problem, but like, just let some characters go. I know you killed off the Muller twins, but please just bring those guys back. But for some other characters, you can just let them go. I feel like the series does too much to hold back. It's too sentimental to characters, especially like bad guys. Like, just be one and done with some of these characters. But see, I can't argue with what they're cooking up, and I'm seated whenever, wherever, or whatever they take us to do. Also, Omni-Man and Alan, I love the few episodes that they had together. But I'm pretty upset that we did not get like a final post-credit scene. That was a bit criminal. I don't really care about what they showed us. I would have preferred to have seen them too. But overall, I think Invincible Season 3 was a step up from Season 2. And over time, it will tell. But so far, it's the best season in my opinion. And we should really let the creatives and animators and the whole team, in fact, cook. Because didn't Robert Kirkman say something about 7 to 8 seasons? Like, let them just do their thing. So yeah, what did you think about Invincible Season 3? I would love to know what you thought of the whole season as a whole. What's your favorite season? Which one's your favorite episode? Who's your favorite character? Thank you for watching this video. Watch my Season 2 review if you have not watched that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.